What if I told you that 4 simple vitamins could restore the blood flow you had 20 years ago? Most men over 60 have been told that declining performance is just part of aging, but what they have not been told is that their body is desperately crying out for specific nutrients that directly control blood circulation where it matters most. I am Dr. Eva Hart, and for the past 14 years I have dedicated my practice exclusively to helping men over 60 reclaim their vitality without pills, injections, or expensive procedures. What I have discovered through working with hundreds of patients will shock you. This is not your fault. The medical system has failed to educate men about these 4 critical vitamins that your body needs to maintain healthy blood flow as you age. We live in a culture where talking about these issues feels embarrassing, but your silence is costing you more than your pride. It is costing you your quality of life. In this video, I will reveal the 4 vitamins that can naturally restore circulation and help you feel like yourself again. This is about more than just physical performance. This is about reclaiming your confidence, your connection with your partner, and your identity as a man. Stay with me until the end because the 4th vitamin I will share has shown remarkable results in my practice, and it might be the missing piece you have been searching for. And if this topic resonates with you, share in the comments what exactly speaks to you. Your story matters, and it helps other men realize they are not alone in this struggle. But before we dive into these life-changing nutrients, let me tell you about something I have been noticing in my practice that might explain why traditional treatments are not working for you. Here is something that quietly destroys masculine vitality after 60, and most men have no idea it is happening. Your body produces less vitamin D as you age, and without adequate levels, your blood vessels literally cannot relax properly to allow healthy circulation. Let me explain this in simple terms. Vitamin D acts like a master key that unlocks your blood vessels' ability to expand. When you are deficient, and research shows that over 70% of men over 60 are, your circulation becomes restricted everywhere, but especially in the areas that matter most for intimacy. I have had countless men tell me the same thing. They feel tired, their stamina has disappeared, and they have lost that spark that once defined them. What they do not realize is that their bodies are working overtime just to pump blood through vessels that cannot open properly. The mechanism behind this is fascinating and crucial to understand. Vitamin D receptors are found throughout your cardiovascular system, particularly in the smooth muscle cells that line your blood vessels. These muscles need to contract and relax rhythmically to maintain healthy blood pressure and circulation. When vitamin D levels drop, these muscles become stiff and unresponsive. One gentleman who came to see me last year was convinced he needed prescription medication. He had tried everything his doctor recommended, but nothing worked consistently. He described feeling like his body had betrayed him. The confidence he once had was completely gone. When we tested his vitamin D levels, they were critically low, just 18 nanograms per milliliter when optimal levels should be between 40 to 60. What made his case particularly interesting was that he lived in Florida and spent time outdoors regularly. But here is what most people do not understand. After age 60, your skin becomes significantly less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. Even men who think they get plenty of sun exposure are often severely deficient. Within 6 weeks of proper supplementation with vitamin D3 plus K2 for absorption, he called my office excited. Not only had his energy returned, but his confidence had been restored naturally. He told me it felt like someone had turned the lights back on in his life. His wife noticed the change too. He was more present, more engaged, more like the man she married decades ago. The science behind this is fascinating. Vitamin D activates an enzyme called nitric oxide synthase, which produces the molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and expand. Without enough vitamin D, this entire system breaks down. Additionally, vitamin D deficiency leads to increased inflammation throughout the cardiovascular system, further compromising blood flow. Here is what I recommend. Get your levels tested first through a simple blood test called 25-hydroxyvitamin D. Then supplement with 2,000 to 4,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, always with vitamin K2 to ensure proper absorption and prevent calcium from depositing in the wrong places. Take it with a meal that contains healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, or nuts for maximum absorption. Most men start noticing improvements in energy within 2 weeks, but the full cardiovascular benefits typically emerge around the 6-week mark. Be patient with the process. Your body is literally rebuilding its ability to maintain healthy circulation. If you are reading this and thinking about your own energy levels, type energy in the comments. It helps me understand how many men are struggling with this hidden deficiency that doctors rarely check for. But vitamin D is just the foundation. The next vitamin I want to share with you works directly on your blood vessels in a way that will surprise you, and it might explain why some men see faster results than others. I have noticed something troubling in my years of practice that connects directly to what we just discussed about circulation. Men over 60 are unknowingly damaging their blood vessels every single day, and this damage is reversible with the right approach. Your blood vessels are under constant attack from something called oxidative stress. Think of it like rust forming inside your pipes. Over time, this rust makes it harder and harder for blood to flow freely. This oxidative damage is accelerated by stress, poor diet, lack of sleep, and environmental toxins that are unfortunately part of modern life. This is where vitamin E becomes your secret weapon. Vitamin E is nature's most powerful protector of blood vessel walls. It acts like a shield, preventing damage and actually helping to repair vessels that have already been affected by years of oxidative stress. But here is what most doctors will not tell you: not all vitamin E is created equal. The synthetic version found in most supplements barely works. What you need is natural vitamin E, specifically the mixed tocopherols form that includes all 8 compounds your body recognizes and uses effectively. Synthetic vitamin E contains only one of these 8 compounds, which is like trying to play a symphony with only one instrument. I had a patient in his mid-60s who was frustrated because he had been taking vitamin E for months with no noticeable improvement. When I looked at his supplement bottle, I immediately saw the problem. It contained synthetic DL-alpha tocopherol. We switched him to natural mixed tocopherols, and within 3 weeks, he reported feeling more energetic and confident than he had in years. Countless men have told me they tried vitamin E before with no results. When I explain the difference between synthetic and natural forms, everything makes sense. One patient described it perfectly. It is like the difference between a photocopy and an original painting. They might look similar, but only one has real power. The research on natural vitamin E for circulation is remarkable. Studies show it can improve blood flow within just 4 weeks of consistent use. More importantly, it helps prevent future damage while your body repairs what has already occurred. Vitamin E also works to prevent the oxidation of LDL cholesterol, which is a major contributor to arterial damage and reduced circulation. But there is another mechanism that makes vitamin E particularly powerful for men over 60. As we age, our bodies produce less glutathione, which is our master antioxidant. Vitamin E helps recycle and regenerate glutathione, effectively amplifying your body's natural defense systems. I recommend 400 IU of natural mixed tocopherols vitamin E daily, taken with your largest meal for optimal absorption. Look for supplements that specify D-alpha tocopherol on the label. This indicates the natural form. Avoid anything that says DL-alpha tocopherol, as this is synthetic and much less effective. Here is something that will give you hope. Your blood vessels have an amazing ability to heal and restore themselves when given the right nutrients. Age does not have to mean accepting decline. I have seen 70-year-old men restore circulation patterns that rival men decades younger, simply by providing their bodies with what they need to repair and protect. Key is consistency. Unlike medications that work immediately but often lose effectiveness over time, these natural approaches build cumulative benefits. Each day you provide proper nutrition, your blood vessels become healthier and more responsive. You are starting to see how these nutrients work together to create a foundation for healthy circulation. You are ready for the third vitamin, and this one might be the most important discovery I can share with you. Here is what most doctors will not tell you about the connection between vitamin C and masculine vitality. Without adequate vitamin C, your body cannot produce enough nitric oxide, the molecule that directly controls blood flow to intimate areas. Most men think vitamin C is just for immune support, but this is a dangerous misconception. Vitamin C is the cofactor your body needs to convert an amino acid called L-arginine into nitric oxide. Without enough vitamin C, this conversion simply cannot happen efficiently. Let me break this down for you in terms that matter. When you become aroused, your nervous system sends a signal to produce nitric oxide. This molecule tells the smooth muscles in your blood vessels to relax, allowing increased blood flow. But if you are deficient in vitamin C, and studies suggest most men over 60 are not getting enough from diet alone, this entire process breaks down. The standard recommendation of 90 milligrams daily is based on preventing scurvy, not optimizing sexual health and circulation. For nitric oxide production, you need significantly higher amounts. Research shows that optimal nitric oxide synthesis requires vitamin C levels that are 10 to 20 times higher than the basic RDA. I had one patient who was spending hundreds of dollars on L-arginine supplements with minimal results. He was frustrated because he had read about the benefits online but was not experiencing them. When we added high-dose vitamin C to his routine, everything changed. He told me it was like someone had fixed a broken switch that had not worked properly in years. The science confirms what I see in practice daily. Vitamin C not only helps produce nitric oxide, but it also protects it from being broken down too quickly by free radicals. This means longer-lasting, more reliable circulation when you need it most. Additionally, vitamin C helps maintain the structural integrity of blood vessel walls, making them more responsive to nitric oxide signals. But there is another crucial factor that most men are not aware of. Stress, which unfortunately increases as we age, rapidly depletes vitamin C stores. The adrenal glands contain some of the highest concentrations of vitamin C in the body, and during stressful periods, these stores are quickly exhausted. This creates a vicious cycle where stress reduces vitamin C, which impairs circulation, which creates more stress and anxiety. Here is the critical part most people miss. You need much more vitamin C than the recommended daily allowance suggests, and you need to take it in divided doses throughout the day. Vitamin C is water-soluble, which means your body cannot store large amounts. Taking 1,000 milligrams all at once results in most of it being eliminated within a few hours. I recommend 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C daily, split into 2 or 3 doses to maintain steady blood levels. Choose a buffered form like calcium ascorbate or magnesium ascorbate to prevent stomach upset. Take 1 dose with breakfast, 1 with lunch, and if using 2,000 milligrams total, a 3rd dose with dinner. You should start noticing improvements in energy and circulation within 2 to 3 weeks. Many of my patients report feeling more confident and vital by the 1-month mark. Some describe it as feeling more present in their bodies and more connected to their physical sensations. Combination of vitamin C with the vitamin D and E we have already discussed creates a powerful synergy. Vitamin C enhances the absorption of vitamin E, while vitamin D helps your body utilize vitamin C more effectively. This is why taking these nutrients together is more powerful than taking any one alone. This information is opening your eyes to something you had not considered before. Type nitric oxide in the comments. Your engagement helps me know this information is reaching the men who need it most, and it helps other men realize they are not alone in seeking natural solutions. The final vitamin I want to share might be the most powerful of all, and it is probably the one you have never heard of in connection with male vitality, but it could be the key to unlocking everything we have discussed so far. You have probably never been told this, but there is a vitamin that can literally clean your arteries while improving blood flow throughout your entire body, and most men over 60 are severely deficient without knowing it. Vitamin K2 is perhaps the most underrated nutrient for masculine health. While vitamin K1 helps your blood clot properly, K2 has an entirely different job. It removes calcium from your arteries and puts it where it belongs, in your bones and teeth. As men age, calcium starts depositing in soft tissues, including blood vessel walls. This creates stiffness and reduces the ability of vessels to expand and contract properly. Think of it like trying to blow up a balloon that has become stiff and inflexible. The harder the walls, the less it can expand. This process, called arterial calcification, is one of the primary reasons why blood pressure increases with age and why circulation becomes less efficient. Most doctors treat this with blood pressure medications, but they are not addressing the root cause, calcium in the wrong places. But here is where K2 becomes revolutionary. It activates a protein called matrix GLA protein, which acts like a calcium traffic director, pulling calcium out of your arteries and redirecting it to strengthen your bones. The result is more flexible, responsive blood vessels throughout your body. One gentleman in his late 60s came to me after his cardiologist found significant arterial calcification during a routine scan. His doctor wanted to start him on multiple medications, but he was concerned about side effects and wanted to try a natural approach first. Along with other interventions, we added high-dose K2 to his protocol. 6 months later, follow-up imaging showed measurable improvement in arterial flexibility. His cardiologist was amazed and asked what he had been doing differently. But more importantly for this man, his energy had returned, his stamina had improved, and he felt like himself again for the first time in years. But the benefits go beyond just cleaning your arteries. K2 also works synergistically with vitamin D to optimize calcium metabolism. Remember how we discussed vitamin D helping blood vessels relax? K2 ensures those vessels stay flexible and responsive long-term by preventing calcium from making them stiff and unresponsive. This is particularly important for men over 60 who are taking calcium supplements for bone health. Without adequate K2, that calcium can end up in your arteries instead of your bones, actually making circulation worse while doing nothing for bone strength. This is why so many men find that calcium supplements seem to make them feel worse rather than better. The best form is K2 as -7 Malawian Kwachas, which stays active in your body much longer than other forms. -7 Malawian Kwachas has a half-life of about 3 days, compared to just a few hours for other forms of K2. This means more consistent benefits with once daily dosing. I recommend 180 to 200 micrograms daily, taken with a meal containing healthy fats for optimal absorption. The fat-soluble vitamins D, E, and K2 all absorb much better when taken with dietary fats, which is another reason why these nutrients work so well together. Here is what excites me most about K2. Unlike many interventions that take months to show results, some men notice improvements in circulation and energy within just a few weeks. Your body responds quickly when you give it what it has been missing. The research on K2 is particularly compelling for men over 60. Studies show that men with higher K2 intake have significantly better arterial flexibility and lower rates of cardiovascular disease. More importantly for our discussion today, they report better overall vitality and energy levels. If you are committed to taking control of your health naturally, these 4 vitamins work together like a symphony. Each one supports the others, creating a comprehensive approach to restoring healthy circulation without synthetic medications. Vitamin D provides the foundation for vessel function, vitamin E protects against damage, vitamin C powers nitric oxide production, and K2 keeps your arteries clean and flexible. Together, they address the root causes of age-related circulation decline rather than just masking symptoms. The transformation I have witnessed in my practice over 14 years has convinced me that age-related decline is not inevitable. It is often just nutritional deficiency in disguise. When you provide your body with these essential nutrients, it can restore function you thought was lost forever. In your hands lies the control over your own health and the return of the vitality that rightfully belongs to you. These nutrients are accessible, affordable, and proven safe for long-term use. If this video has given you hope, subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. What resonated with you the most? Your story might be the very example that helps another man take the first step toward restoring his health naturally.